Spacey's Sims, and we are back with more London Detective Mysteria in the grand ending? I think that's what it's called. Anyway, we finished everything else and now we got this extra stuff and it's totally different. So, anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Anyway, we left the underground facility in time, but the professor continued his wheeled march. Oh. And the site I found when I next stopped, I was in a room covered with works of art, every corner decorated by paints, jewels, and historical mementos. There were men who looked after these pieces. They stood tall and broad shouldered before these relics. What was this place? It was like stepping into a massive museum. Doesn't this look exactly like the museum backdrop that when Akechi and Kobayashi were there? That's what I thought it exactly was, but maybe it's just where they stole all their shit. I don't know. Uh, If I didn't know otherwise, in fact, I would think it was the British Museum. How could so much be collected and hidden from the public eye? Was this a collection of stolen goods, perhaps? Are you telling us this all belongs to you? Haha, I wonder if this is the last Holmes CG. No, I'm trying because it's just Holmes, so. All of it! A collection of England's greatest treasures, which have taken me years to gather. This is my dream. That's not the voice. I don't know, whatever. If you will see, if you take pleasure in viewing, the same symbol on your ring all along these shelves, those boxes, everywhere you look. Why is the Royal Arms here? Does it surprise you? This is an annex below the British Museum. If this is your idea of a joke, it's a very poor one. The Rosetta Stone, sculptures from the Parthenon. This is a museum of false works. The real ones are on display where they rightly belong. Are your eyes addled, boy? Ah, but they would be. The elixir has made quick work of you. This is where we look after England's greatest treasures. These are the real ones, the genuine articles. Really now? Then you mean to say all the British Museum displays are forgeries? What, have they been slowly swapping them out? Correct. In the near future, a lengthy war spanning the globe will take place. Priceless cultural assets destroyed. Entire cities leveled. Not untrue. We must protect our fortunes, for they cannot be restored once lost. And so we have them here. Let them pillage what's public. Let them raise our face. Okay, like, Moriarty, you're an evil douchebag, but at the same time, you're like, that's not actually a bad idea. Look at these beautiful works, and they're fake, and the real ones are stored safe somewhere else, so in wars and all that shit, and just think of everything, like, all of the things that got lost. Didn't get lost! It's in a secret underground facility that's, like, fireproof or whatever. I'm not really sure what's stopping this underground level of the museum from getting leveled, literally, if a bomber dropped on it. But I don't have an architectural engineering degree, so whatever. Our spirit will stay unblemished forever, so long as the originals are here. You're mad. Your plan will never work. Kind of already has, if you think about it. Except for the fact that, as a villain, he's told you his plan, and now we know, but I'm just saying. If this secret collection were ever to come out, you'd invite the anger of Her Majesty, of all of England. Oh, it will come out. I mean, that's the point, right? Oh, but you're not fully comprehending what I say. Those close to Her Majesty are in support of my efforts. You cannot fuss, but there's no fuss to be had. All we've done is show the masses copies for their appreciation. That their copies doesn't stop them from appreciating their beauty. He's making a little bit too much fucking sense, and I have questions about myself now. The police do the same thing when protecting our treasures from these gentlemen thieves. Why is this so different? We keep all you see here from falling into foreign hands whilst ensuring their condition is as pristine as the day they were crafted. It's preservation. But perhaps you're too young to understand. That's what it is. I'm crotchety and old, and I'm like, I get it. I get it. Get those whippersnappers off our lawn, Moriarty. The professor expounded just words of this cultural preservation, just as pretty and virtuous, and also so very fabricated, for his eyes could not hide the private lust he held for these artifacts. Okay, well, There you... That, too. That's not how you spell artifacts, but... You know what I mean? So, like, you're like, you've got a really good book. Oh, they're just for your own gain, so you can ogle them and touch them. You know what? Step away from the Nefertiti. Don't be touching her like that. I glared sharply, but Professor Moriarty simply smiled. However you choose to dress it up, you're deceiving Great Britain's people. But if Earl Beckford was your associate, No! The Foundation's money was going straight into your pocket!
Oh, yes. He requested your parents be done away with before they could expose his corrupt ways, and wanted the same for the other founding members. The Earl will be remembered as a worthy customer, perhaps a man of worthy character to some, as he was quite sincere before he arranged the murders of the Whitleys. But did he ever embrace his dark side once the deed was done? You would do well to recognize how detectives like you are drawn to the same scent of crime he was.
This is a nightmare.
That's apt. You are, indeed, living in a nightmare. A trite, tedious nightmare that pretends it is a dream through rubbish like friendship and companionship. Consider this also. When England conquers another country, we bring home and preserve their cultural heritage. We're charged with this as kings of Earth. Charged, I again declare, with this holy mission of protecting the legacies of all lands.
This is... The douchebaggery right here is like, whoa, 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 whoa. Simmer down, Moriarty. If anyone's in charge to be king of Earth, it's America. We are the kings of the douchebags. You just sit down. Just sit down. Just let us handle this shit. Hold my beer. I mean, seriously. Let's face it. Like, we excel at trying to be douchebags. Just trying to take our fucking title. That's it. Tea in the harbor. See this? Dump it in the harbor. That's kind of funny when you think about it. Anyway.
I know my message has reached you, young Holmes.
Stop.
You feel it deep within your heart of hearts that you're bewitched by the darkness.
I am not. His voice was too strained to be anything natural. The effects of the elixir? Holmes. So dull had his countenance become, so unfocused were now his eyes, that I couldn't see my own reflection in them.
Now, awaken from your nightmare, Sherlock Holmes. Should you use your brilliant mind to aid us, we would welcome you into a blessed dream.
Could you just fucking imagine? Okay, they got, Lupin. They got Jack. They, like, managed to get Holmes in there, so, like, Holmes drags Watson. It's like the fucking pyramid scheme. We're just dragging all our friends into this shit. And the next you know, like, the next part of the game is not, you know, we're trying to solve mysteries and right wrongs. We're making the wrongs. I need a game like that. We're always so goody two-shoes making things better. I want to be on the bad side. You know what I mean? I want to be the evil one. Like, ha 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 ha. Where, like, the whole point is, like, make all the wrong choice. Like, what will you do? Let them live or murder them? Murder them! I've got problems. I'm just saying. It'd just be different, right?
Agree, and the girl may return to the surface. Agree. Do as I say. Come with me. Help me with my mission. There's more of that intoxicating drug in it for you if you so wish it.
Holmes's fists were clenched to where they were shaking. I don't want any more of this vulgar shit. A tongue like the professor's could break any man's spirit. Holmes made to be an exception. The boy detective was on the verge, struggling to keep the abuse at bay whilst impaired. But he was strung up. He could no longer command his own wits, and now that he was induced by this potent chemical, he was malleable to an illusory consciousness that begged to drag him into a black pit. Holmes's pupils shrunk. The seconds passed. Or maybe some other higher construct moved forwards or backwards or shifted. Time may have passed in seconds or may well not have been passing at all. No matter to him. All that he noticed was was false impulse of his limbs pulling themselves out of their sockets and his lungs twisting to constrict his breathing. Don't listen to him, Holmes! Every word is a lie! You can't believe him! I protested as loudly as I could through the hand that tried to quiet me. Perhaps my words would reach him. That was all I had. Holmes! Holmes dragged forth one step toward the professor. Do you think I'm that stupid? You wouldn't let her live. You can't fool me. She's going to return to the surface because I'll be taking her there. He stopped, and then the room was ambushed. Ha! I don't know who's hawing. Ooh! Is it our friends? No sooner had I heard the cry of voices and the whistle of some object flying through the air did the men restraining me buckle without a single cry. Our friends are here. I had been freed. I turned to my saviors who stood at my side. Can I just tell you, this ending is like better than the whole fucking game. And the game was really good, don't get me wrong, but I love this. All our friends are together! This is as close to the man harem as we're fucking getting. And I'm okay with this. That's enough! Your recruitment days are over! Stay back, Spacey. We'll handle it. Watson, Jack, you're alright! Thank God, too. Took us longer than we would have liked to shake them off, but we're here. Everything's gonna be alright now. But Holmes' behavior isn't right. He looks like he can barely stand. The drug continued to win him physically. Exhausted, Holmes fell to his knees. Holmes, what's the matter with you? Come back to us. Slap him, Watson.
Ha! Holmes has already succumbed to the elixir's seductions. Does he look to you like someone who even knows the room in which he stands? Bah! This has carried on long enough. It's time you got to work.
In response to the professor's call was someone most unexpected. I don't know, as you wish, Professor. Lupin, no! Lupin, what are you doing here? He revealed himself from behind their enemy. Well, I do love beautiful things. What must I do if the owner of this fine museum calls for me? I cannot refuse their whispers. So, what would you have me do? Don't! It's wrong! Don't do this! You love pretty things, but look around you. There's plenty of pretty people in the man harem. And me. I mean, okay, I'm really derpy and kind of creepy, but you know what? Just pretend that that's... Well, you're into that. It's fine.
An obstacle has emerged to blockade my attempts to win Holmes. Lend me your strength and there may be a reward in it for you.
Maybe. Yeah. You know what? Come on, Lupin. Jesus.
Look at these works of art and tell me which call your name. Do you understand?
I understand painfully well.
I thought you a thief, Lupin, but never someone who'd stoop to working with these lowlifes.
Bleu. I don't... Sacre bleu. I know how that, but I don't know where the... Bleu? Whatever. Anyway, close enough. Probably not. Look, don't hate on me because I don't speak French. Like, I'm not learning French. I'm not gonna learn French for you, games. It's not what we're doing. Don't misunderstand me. All they do is furnish me with the information I need. Don't do this, Lupin. Holmes is an important friend to us. We won't hand him over. What to do, what to do. To choose a reward from treasures of this value is an attractive proposition, to be sure. Lupin! The thief's smile was mischievous and adoring, as it always was on one so handsome. I mean, he really is pretty, but I still love awkward Lupin. But... I fucking love it when they do these. I don't know why, I just love it. His move was like a magic trick. With speed I couldn't catch, Lupin produced several playing cards and pointed them at Professor Moriarty. And to grant her earnest wish appeals to me so much more.
You would betray me, Lupin, for a little girl?
Hoes before bros, motherfucker. Every time, for I follow my heart before you. Besides, I find beauty in stealing treasure. The fun is lost if you just give it to me, I'm afraid. He's like, besides, I already stole a bunch of shit. It's lining my pockets right now. Why do you think I'm jingling as I walk? It's all the fucking things in my pockets. Pendleton. Does Pendleton know Lupin is Lupin? I bet he fucking does. Pendleton's like, I know fucking everything. Are you Lady Whitley's schoolmate, John Lupin?
Yes, that's right. May I help you?
Forgive me. My name is Pendleton, and I'm a butler in the service of House Whitley. If you consider my lady a close friend of yours, then I should like to ask you a favor.
Of course. If I'm able, I'd be happy to help.
Lovely. Thank you so much. I have reason to think Lady Whitley will soon be doing something rather dangerous. Because she never does anything that I fucking tell her to do, and she does the complete opposite. Plus, I left a mysterious drawer unlocked with keys to a rather mysterious door, and there's no fucking way she's going to leave them alone. Once she does, she'll need more than me. She'll need her friends also.
I think you might think too much of me. I don't know what you think I can do. Why would you come to me for this?
You're a funny one. You know precisely why. You know why. And he's like, goodness me, I'm now compelled to ask, are you just a butler? Indeed, I'm one who has sworn his eternal loyalty to Lady Whitley. All right, I'll play along and believe that for now. They sound too much alike, so it's like they've become the same person right now. Because, like, I can't, like, doing them both at the same time anyway. It isn't simple loyalty to his master that drives him. He is genuine in his want to grant her every desire. And there's something about her, something that inspires all who meet her to try for her sake, without her ever having asked. We're a special snowflake! Oh my god, I kind of hate that mentality, though. I mean, you think it's sweet, but it's like, everybody adores her. That's a little... not everybody. Okay. Everybody... You know what it is? Everybody's intimidated by the giant fucking eyes and is like, oh god, I'm scared. Anyway. Oh, but who cares what the butler wants? Even if he hadn't asked, I'd do this anyway. Consider the ties between us severed, Lupin. We'll never work with you again. You damn traitor. You could kiss my feet and I would still not agree to work with you. Go on, offer me this entire museum and watch me turn it down. I won't do what I don't want to do. Sassy little bastard, I love him. Lupin separated Holmes from the professor with success. So here we are, my princess. Note how prompt I am with my deliveries. Oh, Lupin, thank you. Thank you. I can never say no to a lovely woman like you. The boy, barely conscious, held his face in his hands, keeping his lids spread open through stretching the skin with his fingers. To stay awake was a more trying task by the minute. Holmes! I went to hold him. Jack, however, gripped my arm very suddenly to stop me. Stop. I got a bad feeling about this. You stay here. What? Watson ran to Holmes in my place. Holmes, how are you? I'm fine. So he spoke, but it was bravado. His eyes struggled to focus on any single thing. He's more hallucinations than reality for the present. Professor Moriarty chuckled. I'm sure you know the philosophy of our great Sherlock Holmes. To expose or commit, a genius shall be ingenious in how he succumbs to the world of its evildoers, as he would still be were he to become the evildoer. Good lord, that was... Detectives and their criminals are two halves of a whole. You know the line that splits them is fine. And you're on that line. You itch and quake in the absence of sin, like an addict who cannot be sated. You'll never live in a quiet fashion that is congenial to you. Peace is not for you. You have the knowing of darkness exposed to light, of lightness snuffed by dark, and familiar with those as you are, it's impossible for you to have ignored the truth about yourself. You see the excitement, the joy, the obsession that mounts and that you work desperately to hide, that creeps outwards. The delightful delirium which is omnipresent. God, I was trying really hard to keep it through the whole thing, but I'm just in my head like, Jesus, this is some kind of a speech. He's using all his $5 words in here, like, fuck. Anyway. God, I couldn't. I just busted out laughing in the middle of that. I'm sorry. It was just, holy shit, this monologue, man. Moriarty, like, applause for this. Shit, though. Ugh.
The delightful delirium which is omnipresent when confronted by the complex and bizarre.
She's like, what? I confess that you're correct on all accounts, Professor. Holmes! I understand that side of myself exists. But the tower you seek to build is a fragile one. It's thin and with soft dirt at its foundation, and it'll crumble before it rises to the sky.
Huh! How can you say that with confidence? I rule all of London's underbelly. And you're delighted to be here. Your friends shall return, but you're not like them.
Don't make me laugh. This will always be trapped underground. You'll never make history on the surface. The cities we build, the things we create, will always rise higher. I mean, especially if you're building all your shit underneath, and literally, Holmes is like literally on the mark. The atrocities you perpetrate, the raw fear you seek to elicit, are merriments that are doomed to crumble time and time again. Do I find excitement, joy, as part of what I do? Certainly. Woo! I love it! Can we do one of these for everybody? But you can't tempt me with such a small world as yours.
You're boring me.
But with a snap of his fingers, the ground below us rumbled. Holmes stood up. His balance was unsteady, but he managed it through force. The whole of the underground was erupting with noise and movement. We watched, helpless to stop it, as the path from where we entered caved in and was gone in seconds. He just could you imagine? Ah, shit! No, that's not. I snapped with the wrong frequency, and now that path, and you're like, fuck. You like blink too loud, like somebody accidentally collapsed. No, it sounds too much like a snap, and now the alleyway's gonna cave in. Or like what? You snap and your henchman knows, and he's like, so I didn't recognize that snap. Did you want me to cave in the thing, or did you want me to call the dragon, or what? Like to
cave in the walkway that we just came through.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry.
Hold on. Let me do it again.
Crumble. I mean, like, the fuck?
Very well. Was not so foolish as to think you would accept our ways today. But I promise you this, young Holmes. I exist inside you.
Whoa. Someone call the FBI. That is inappropriate. Holmes is still a teenage boy. Somebody needs to be on a fucking government watch list. Jesus, pedo. Keep it to yourself.
And you exist inside me.
Whoa, Moriarty.
You will, by destiny, find yourself charmed by the base. And so long as the seeds of boredom are sown within you, so too is your inability to escape me.
This is just, well, Moriarty, you're just... The entire area readied for collapse. Wait!
I keep all this here, blah, blah, blah.
Nah, I'm just gonna blow it all up. The fuck, Moriarty? You had such a good plan. See, this is what makes evil people stupid, right? He had this great $1 million plan. I'm gonna keep all the things here and preserve them and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? You pissed me off, Holmes. You said no to me. I'm gonna blow this shit up. So you wanted to protect all this shit from all the wars that would happen and people would steal it, but we're keeping it here, we're protecting it, but I'm gonna destroy it now? Like, what? Goddamn crackpot. The crack started and spread between the floor where Holmes and the rest of us stood, not beneath our boots to swallow each of us together, but somehow in chunks that we may watch ourselves be separated before our falling. I couldn't have it. Holmes was not well enough for this. If we did nothing, then he'd be swallowed whole with no one to rescue him. The passage is going to be completely gone at this rate. Just follow Moriarty. He's obviously got a secret exit. He's not going to let himself die here. The cracks along the ground grew larger and larger. Rubble, first in smaller bits of dust, and now in large pieces rained from above. Why? This makes no sense. Why are evil people fucking crazy? On the other side, we saw the museum. On the other side, we saw the museum. We're underneath it, so anyway. Professor Moriarty was between his artifacts, calm, pleased, before yet more rubble from above blocked our sights. He was gone. Our field of vision was obscured by dust and remnants of ceiling fluttering everywhere. Someone! Anyone! Where are you? Holmes! Watson! Jack! Lupin! Over here, Spacey! Hold your hand out! I'm here! I extended my hand and Watson found it. Fancy this. Like the devil's own luck. Jack, thank God. Jack found my other hand. The three of us clinged to each other. At least we couldn't be separated. I mean, until a rock falls on you and breaks your arms. Spacey! You aren't hurt, are you? Lupin jumped out from amongst the dust to meet us. I'm unhurt. More importantly, where is Holmes? Holmes! Holmes! Where are you? Say something! Holmes! This is bad. If this part collapses as well, we're all... That ain't funny, Holmes. Where are you? Holmes! Please, Holmes! The shaking beneath us grew ever more violent. Any more and we'd be knocked off our feet. But where could we go? Our path was gone. Perhaps we were together, but it was not going to help us escape, and we had no time to consider alternatives. Q Pendleton? Oh, look! It's Akechi! We're all together! I love this! Please, tell me you're all right. From the opposite side of us, Akechi and Kobayashi appeared. What are y'all doing down here? Just hanging out, waiting for the ground to crumble and eat us and destroy all the precious artifacts that Moriarty was trying to save, and but, and then 3 hours later, when we should all be dead, we're still expounding all the shit that we've learned. Anyway. Akechi! Kobayashi! Never mind us! How are you two down here? We descended a staircase connected to the British Museum's secret storage room. And we followed it through a passage till we heard your voices. I sure didn't expect to find you. We were in the middle of a case. Come on, the staircase is this way. Hurry! We can't. Holmes is still... The passage on which we were standing was ready to cave in. With no time to spare, we rushed after the boys who guided us to an intact staircase at the end of the passage. This is why is this going to literally be... Okay, see, either Pendleton's going to save his ass, or this is going to be like the cliffhanger where there's another game and you're like, and it's the race to find Holmes! And it's going to be just like fucking Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty and Reichenbach Falls, and it's just going to be that whole fucking thing again, and it's going to be like, beautiful! The reference is strong! Or Pendleton's going to save his ass, I don't know. Holmes, hurry! We're over here! Be quick. It won't be long before the staircase is gone with the rest of this place. Without any thought to it, I shook myself free of Watson's grasp. Oh, dear fucking God. Spacey, don't! Yeah, seriously, one of you assholes should have gone and found him. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna try to drag a teenage boy? One of you assholes could have dragged him better. Looking back along the dust-filled passage, I again outstretched my hand in hopes that someone would take it. Holmes! Can't really scream. I screamed, prayed, cried through the rumbling with all my might. And someone did take my hand. Their fingers were long and slender, twisting between mine and holding as though to never let go again. I knew precisely to whom this hand belonged. God damn it, Pendleton! I'm looking for Holmes! Just kidding. Holmes! I know I'm late. I'm fine. God, you don't know how happy I am to see you! Now we're dead. You stupid ass! You had us worried sick. We have no time for rejoicing. Focus on running. We each moved to support Holmes however we could. And now, blinking unnaturally between clouds of dust, coughing remnants of an unclean age, shifting on unstable ground, we moved. The images of that underground museum and the factory flickered in my mind. If this one passage left to us caved in, we would never be able to investigate these places again. Behind me, I could hear the staircase crumbling, but I didn't look back. Without stopping, with no regard for breath, we ran. But that's the thing. I still don't understand why Moriarty would do that. Like, shoot them or something. Anyway, all your precious planning, your brilliant idea where you're like, I understand. See, that's what it is. You're like, I understand what he's saying, and I kind of can't argue with it. Wow. And then he's like, no, I'll destroy it all. Ah, that's where, okay, that's
That's the point where now I'm like, oh, you are an evil mastermind and not this like, I mean, that's not a bad idea. No, okay. You ruined it. Great idea. Poor execution. Oh, what a relief it is to see you all here and well. And next thing we knew, Akechi and Kobayashi had disappeared. And nothing turned up of our search in the museum, but I suppose it wouldn't if you were set to reappear with a cloud of dust. We were able to use that brick staircase to reach the surface. Upon emerging, we found ourselves in the real British Museum storage room. A great many mystified expressions were there to greet us, including Sergeant Ryan and Inspector Lestrade. It's good to see you, Inspector. We do seem to run into each other quite often, don't we? But how is the question? We only learned of the passage whereabouts today, but it's plain you knew the answer long before us. He's like, no, also only today. What? What's so plain about this? We were given reason to suspect there was a secret entrance in the British Museum being used for criminal activity. It was little more than a rumor, really. If I must be honest, I would have sworn up and down it wasn't true. And my investigation wasn't what one would consider thorough, but I did look, sir. Of course I did. Pendleton. Were you literally sitting there like, it was just a magical tip, and I mean, I get, and you're like, Pendleton. Gah, this could have been the discovery of the century. Scotland Yard's crowning achievement. I love that. Like, Pendleton's lurking in the shadows to save our ass. He's the one in the tree shooting to save us. Like, all this shit, he's the one that told people. He got Lupin to save us, and then he's just sitting there like, oh yeah, I had a great time with my family. He has no fucking family. MI6 is his motherfucking family. Pendleton is goddamn 001, because he's number one. I forget how that actually works, but here we are. What is it? Wasn't James Bond 007 because he had 7 kills? Something like that? What was it? I forget what it was. It was explained in one of the movies, but one of the more recent ones anyway. The Daniel Craig ones, I believe. I don't know. Anyway, I forget these things. But here we are, beaten by the students of Harrington Academy again. I really just want Ryan to be like haha, Moriarty does what I say. Here's the interesting thing. Unless Professor Moriarty is supposed to be Edward Moriarty, but I have his voice still on and he never talks. So who the fuck is Edward Moriarty? And where the fuck was Mycroft? Unless Mycroft comes up because Pendleton is speaking to him. But, like, where the fuck is he? Neither one of them showed up ever in the game. Interesting.
If it makes you feel better, it was only me and Akechi who found it.
Behave. There is no need to kick a man once he's down. What an exhausting day this has been. I'd give anything to be home and in bed. Shan't be disappointed, Ryan. They're the detectives of the future. We want them to be a capable lot. Papers do love to report anything and everything as the work of the yard. Let them have the front page this time. Not at all, sir. It was solely by chance we were able to assist you.
When he's right, he's right. Without the police, what could we have done? We were just pleased we could save them before things got worse.
Inspector, Sergeant, thank you for all that you do for us. The hug moment is strong here. What? Oh. Miss Whitley, it's quite enough of your flattery. He'll... Yes, well, you should know, young lady, that Scotland Yard is always on your side. Come to us if you need help. No need to hesitate. Inspector? See what you've done? A word of flattery goes straight to his head. This is precisely how he's passed all of Father's achievements as his own. It doesn't matter who gets the credit. We're alive and well. That's all I care about. Couldn't agree more. We have been terribly worried about you, you know. I'll kindly ask you not to pin this on me. Think of how worried we were for Miss Whitley's recklessness. What's it bloomin' matter? It's proof you're good friends and you care. What happened to Lupin? Gone, I guess. Seen a note over there from him. I mean, he's gonna hang around and the Scotland Yard's like, aren't you? Nope! Jack picked up the letter and began to read. To me beloved princess. Oh, wait, we're reading this. I was starting to read it in Lupin's voice, and then I was like, to me beloved princess under night. And then I was like, oh, Jack is, okay. I was going to read it in the Lupin voice because I figured, but we're reading Jack reading. All right, cool. To me beloved princess under nights, I shall return to finish our duel another time. But till then, adieu. From Lupin with love. What is this? Damn it, I should never have read it aloud. His face flushed red with regret. It just isn't right to hear any of that from you. They ain't my words. All I did was read the bloody thing. I sympathized. Of all the people to have been coerced into reading Lupin's pretentious writings. Oh. I love it.
Dear, oh dear, you're really here.
Lupin, true to his knack for arriving long after the danger was ended, appeared from the storage room entrance, looking as though he might trip over himself at any moment. Lupin, why in God's name are you here?
I wanted to browse the museum today, but by chance when an officer said you were inside. You look terribly worn out. Did something happen?
They're like, you still have a little bit of dust on your shoulder. Just saying. You silly boy. There's dust all atop your nose. How did that get there? I didn't even read the line, but I was just like, you got a little. I didn't even realize that's what she said. That's so fucking funny, though.
There is. Thank you very much.
The boy's pretty pale cheeks turned a deep red, though not as red as Jack's, as I wiped the dust off his nose. I really am so grateful we made it out of there alive. Yes, as am I. I swear, let this be a lesson to both of you not to try anything so foolish ever again. I find you're just as guilty.
I can't say I understand what sparked all this, but I'm glad to see you in good health all the same.
What a night it had been. What a time. But all I could do was laugh. I had good company, and it was all I could manage to do when we were finally together. Ah! We're all finally together in the man harem. Yes. Where the fuck is Marple, though? Okay, she's part of our harem, too. I'm sorry. We had a little girl date with her, and I kind of ship it. It's fine. The immediate effects of the elixir had also begun to wear off for Holmes, who was now able to stand without assistance. Even the clarity in his eyes was returning. He acknowledged each of us with a new glitter of determination. I knew now that a sense of boredom lurked beneath Holmes's surface, a lust that was eerily similar to our enemies for something more. But I also knew the facts. Lust did not win, for he was here on the surface with us.
Ah, I just remembered something.
Kobayashi interrupted to present a certain something.
Look at this beauty. Doesn't she look like Spacey?
She does? And didn't you wear the same dress at the party? I'm just really awed that these men remember what fucking dress I wore. Like, they're paying that much attention? Yes, I think it is. But I've never seen this portrait before, but you fucking know it's your mom. It was displayed in a beautiful frame. At the bottom right, I could see the painter's signature. The letters were difficult to read from age, but I knew the name. This can't be. RW is. Those are my father's initials. He was the one who did that painting of my family. How could he have painted a picture of himself? So that's confusing. Well, I mean, I guess he's like just looking in the mirror, like posing, like weird. The frame around the portrait looked so very familiar. I had seen ones of a similar design displayed in Earl Beckford's room. His mansion was connected to the museum through the underground passage, much like mine was. That meant he could hide as many paintings as he pleased down there, coming and going with nary a suspicion aroused. Could the Earl have feared my father's paintings? A ludicrous thing when said in so plain a manner, and yet they may have left behind evidence. Were Earl Beckford to be overcome with paranoia for any medium which could incriminate him, then certainly it was plausible for him to fear them. So he just puts it in the museum storage room, and then someday someone's in the storage room like, where the fuck did that... Okay, well, weird. Fearing that there might be something incriminating in one of these, Earl Beckford... Of course, he was a collector of my father's paintings, and with that came someone new who entered the room whilst clapping. Brilliant, my lady. You have your parents' wit and are an exemplary head for your household. See here! You returned to the countryside, Pendleton! How are you here? Pendleton's like, oh, I have been playing a game of chess with all of you as my pawns since the very beginning. 1,000 pardons, but I lied. I've been running around and working to protect you. That man tried to shoot Miss Whitley in Earl Beckford's room. So it was you outside the window, was it, sir? Pendleton gave a composed nod. All right, Pendleton's like revealing all his cards. I thought he was going to stay secret squirrel. Pendleton!
Yes, although it's deeply regretful that you were forced to be in harm's way to lure an enemy out of hiding.
Pendleton, that you wanted me to notice the keys. You wanted me to learn about Father. I never knew he was part of any sort of intelligence agency. And each of us have, to some extent, become intimate with this matter. Would you care to tell us more?
I suppose you were involved the moment you chose to risk your lives for Lady Whitley. I agree. My lord has passed on. I don't see the harm in telling you.
Before responding, he took a deep breath. It was hitched, labored, as though even this did not help him release the strenuous amount of tension that had been building.
I would preface by saying that every word I speak is the absolute truth. But there are too many people here. I would have us go elsewhere.
Fuck. I don't know if we're going to be able to finish this in 20 minutes.
Will you swear to keep everything I say to yourselves and no other?
We consented.
Very well then, I shall begin.
Steadily, this was when the butler began to relay his tale.
Master Robert and Lady Olivia first met at Harrington Academy. They later married, and in time, Lady Whitley was born.
And the end.
Both of them believed very genuinely in helping London's poor. Together with several of their schoolmates who found their ideas quite agreeable and in line with their own, they formed the Harrington Welfare and Education Foundation. And this was intended to educate and improve the lives of those who were most in need. It was met with positive reception amongst the citizenry, and with this backing grew larger by the year.
He produced a photograph for our viewing.
And this photograph shows the Foundation's original members and was taken in celebration. Yet it was Master Robert who realized a portion of its funds were being diverted elsewhere. As a member of the Secret Intelligence Service responsible for pursuing the criminal organizations, he compiled a report of his findings and secured them in the mansion's basement.
And it was Earl Beckford who was responsible for the missing money?
Most likely, yes. Not long after his discovery, an assassin was sent to the mansion, and both Lord and Lady were murdered. The murderer set fire to the mansion to disguise the scene as a mere accident. All of this is the work of Moriarty's organization, Spellbound.
Had Earl Beckford walked into London's dark underbelly of his own accord? Or had he been enticed by Professor Moriarty? I didn't know the answer, nor did it matter. He had used Her Majesty's ring to place a cloak over his own wrongdoings, adopted the strength of Spellbound to murder the people dearest to me. In many ways, the truth was as heavy a burden as the mystery.
I used the passage Master Robert had prepared for such an emergency to flee with Lady Whitley to the outskirts of London, and from there, I gave her safekeeping in the countryside.
That solves it. I couldn't understand why I felt as though I'd seen that passage before until now.
Indeed, for it was not the first, but the second. If not for that passage, I doubt we would have been able to escape with our lives. The Earl, I should expect, wanted every last speck of evidence against him destroyed along with the mansion. Spellbound was the most likely recipient of the missing funds stolen by the Earl. And they would use that money to fund their operations.
I can't wait till somebody asks, but Pendleton, how do you know all this? Right? Because he's not telling you he works for the Secret Intelligence Agency.
And the years passed, and each and every one of the founding members were, with generous space between the events, murdered, with their deaths perceived as accidents or suicides. All except Earl Beckford. When his time was meant to come, he pretended to be a victim to end Lady Whitley's life as well. And the reason he was an avid collector of Master Robert's painting was certainly, as she expressed, to be rid of potential evidence. The paranoia wrought by his foul deeds must have been great to fear even works of art. Corrupt he may have been in the end, but I cannot imagine even he knew what would become of the organization he helped found when they were students.
So see, this kind of also makes you think he's the one that mentions... Was he the one that mentioned the silverware to her? It was in that path, right, where the silverware came up where we first met Earl Beckford, whoever's path that was. Because I kind of am wondering if he was the one that, like, kind of mentioned it or whatever. And then, you know what I mean, purposely like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Or he's the one that sold it secretly to the crazy guy who then was charged, was like, okay, but now when she comes to get it, you go and kill her, right? Cool. To set her up to murder her that way. So he's been trying to murder her in all these different paths. It's kind of cool. I like that. That it's possible it ties in. I mean, I don't know if they thought that through, like, okay, so this is how this is happening, and it's always Earl Beckford, but I like making that tie. Feels good to me. I couldn't bear it. It was awful. All of it. The emotions afflicted me so greatly that I had to look away. What a night. Oh, what a night tonight had been. I've been ignorant my entire life. This painting father left to me held so much more value than I ever knew. Mother and father have been with me all this time. Within it, they watched over me, guided me to the truth. Her Majesty gave me this ring. Her Majesty brought me to Harrington. Without that, I would never have met any of you. They've been here, always. Always they've been here. Another few days passed. I now stood next to the Thames at dusk, watching the ships idly sail along. I learned soon after that Earl Beckford's mansion had been caught in a blaze of unknown origin. That's the candle that fell over. We know what happened. Nothing remained by the end of it. Not even he, or I suppose he may have remained in some form, for a body burnt to where it was unrecognizable had been discovered among the ashes. It was impossible to know it was him for sure. I, at any rate, could believe it was someone else. For all he did, the Earl was never arrested and made to face his crimes. Neither the mystery of the giant factory nor the museum were solved. Scotland Yard had thoroughly investigated the passageway leading from the British Museum, but all this led to was a dead end. It was perfectly clean, not even a pebble to kick along the ground. I could only conclude it was Spellbound who acted in haste to thwart exposure to the outside world. So much has happened since I was given this ring, since I met Holmes, Watson, all of them. I played with the ring bequeathed to me by twisting it round my finger. This ring had been a symbol of trust between queen and bearer. How could it have been used for evil? How? The question pained me. I will continue to chase after Earl Beckford and Spellbound, but what should be done with the foundation my parents established? It was created with pure intentions, but its money had seeded the impure. Has the time come for it to be dissolved? The foundation was currently being supported by the kindness of countless people, but I can only imagine how my parents would grieve to know that its funds were being misappropriated. With shaking hands, I slid the ring from my finger and observed it closely. One man. It took one man to distort the will of my parents, murder them to cover up his crimes, and he wore a ring just like this. I was so elated the day Her Majesty gave this to me. But people can change. Earl Beckford used your faith in him to do evil. That I had worn a ring identical to the one who took away the lives of my loved ones. With such pride I wore this thing. This stupid, blasted piece of scrap. I flung my arm in the air with the ring grasped in my palm. As I am now, even if I don't have this ring, Yet before I could throw it, someone grabbed my arm. Miss Woodley, what are you planning to do with that? Holmes, He was staring fiercely into my eyes. I was near convinced that he was able to read my thoughts. Now wasn't the time for you to throw that away. Plus, just because one person, wore that and was evil doesn't make every other you're basically saying that everybody else, like the huge group of other people that are wearing this that are good, that just negates everything that they've done. Come on, stop. It's because of your ring that we were able to meet you. It was because of your ring that we were able to help one another. And you said as much, didn't you? You've helped your loved ones and become a guiding light for those who need it. It matters not if someone else with the same thing you have chose to betray its trust and all it symbolized. That, okay, Holmes said it so much more eloquently. That Her Majesty saw goodwill in you and wishes you would use it to aid those in need still has not changed. Never reject her wishes, earnest as they are, to spread hope through you. Holmes, you've given me hope more times than I can count, Oh, my God, join the man harem. His honesty was stunning, but freeing in a sense that they settled into me and cured me for this moment of my anger. You're right. Forgive me. I wanted to answer to her more than any of us, and now look at me. And there's nothing to forgive. You've done nothing wrong. And know that you're a courageous and kind young lady. I know, and I'm confident that you'll never misuse that ring. Thank you, Holmes. You're very welcome. I watched the river, the light of dusk glittering throughout the Thames. That evening was bright and ever so heartwarming. That evening was, I read that so wrong. Maybe I turned off all the voicing. I don't know, but anyway. Here she is in this weekly magazine, too. Someone is a celebrity. Spacey Whitley helps to preserve England's greatest treasures and works of art in full cooperation with the police. Oh, this is Mystery Top Hat guy, isn't it? Okay. Whitley, I simply performed my duties as one of Her Majesty's detectives. Yep, okay. I simply performed my duties as one of Her Majesty's favorite bootwickers. And the readers swoon in unison. Well, she is rather a charmer. So charming, in fact, that it irritates me like a dog. What's this? What is this? Is that not Holmes's idiot of a son behind her? What is Herlock doing there? Of course, yes, of course. He's one of her henpecked minions. She may as well be the queen to him. And he does possess that same ring. Could this mean she can be used? Then again, must the answer be based upon the opinion of a dog who chooses so small a cage? And though it is quite sensible, for he may sip his tea, fawn over a girl, and remain ever dominant. If only he would expand his horizons beyond the darkness of London. But alas, what if the water bowl is dry elsewhere? We did originally have the voice acting on. I want to see something. Did I turn it all off? I might have. I want to see something. I reset them. Hold on. Voices. But I want to turn everybody off. I want to see if I know he's not Mycroft Holmes because I've seen that, but I want to see. Well, no, but he wouldn't be Moriarty either because I'm pretty sure Moriarty was shown in the beginning. And I was just really wondering. Okay, I want to see something. Anyway, Daddy is much the same, and a waste of space he is. Both of them are.
So, もうじき僕の時代が来る。このホットショコラで占ってみようかな。ねえ、おかわりまだ?
He's gotta be Edward Moriarty. Anyway, it's nearly time for my age to dawn, and there's no better way to divine my own future than with some hot chocolate. Oh, here's my next cup. It's got to fucking be. Because there's no way. Whoops. That's not what I wanted. It's gotta be. Hold on. I'm sorry. I just need to know. The curiosity's killing me. There's no way. I've seen Mycroft, so it can't be. Here you are, sir. Hot chocolate. Whatever. I don't know what. Gâteau au chocolat. Bonbons au chocolat. And pan vanille au chocolat. I don't know. I just made up words. Making words. Wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. There is no way. Unless, wait a minute. Wait. Do you know the time? Do you? You're late. See there, the sun is setting. Speed is power, numbskull. Eating so much chocolate so late in the day will wreak havoc upon my health. Ah, fine point, sir. I shall take it away.
おい、誰が下げていいって？僕の前に出したお菓子を引っ込めるとか、お前バカ?
Oh! Okay. Oh my god. I never fucking would have ever. But, oh my god. Oh. I'm sorry, but I'm losing my mind. You are fucking telling me that this is Mycroft. No! Oh! That's so good! Oh my god! I can't even! Okay, we're just gonna go back and turn the voices off because, like, but I just really wanted to see. I was like, wait a minute, he had a voice in the very beginning, and like, okay.
Did I speak of returns? What idiot thinks of presenting me chocolate and then taking it away?
My apologies, sir.
Ugh, you're a hopeless fool, but know that you're in good company. For you see, no one is more hopeless than Daddy. That Sherlock Holmes treats him like dirt, and still he's obsessed. I would never permit myself to be in that same position. I'm in heaven. I must bring some of this back to London. The chocolate there doesn't have a patch on this.
I can't believe they don't tell you who he is, though.
In no time at all, the day I learned the truth of my parents' death became one more day in a sequence of many. Today was Christmas Eve. The cards I'd wished to give everyone were in my bag as I skipped along to Harrington Academy.
You're not really skipping if you're in a carriage, but
sure. Goodness, is it snowing? The very moment I left the carriage, I felt the prickling cold of fresh snow falling against my cheeks. The sky was but a single shade of white from end to end. What's up, Bert? What the fuck happened? You just passed out. What's the matter with you? Christ.
Anyway.
Of course I'm cold then. But wherever is the rest of the school? I don't see anyone. Christmas can't be a school holiday, can it? And as I moved from start to end towards the classroom I'd come to love, I noticed not a soul was present on the grounds. I mean, it's Christmas, so yeah, I would assume it was a holiday. It's all a coincidence, I'm sure. It has to be. A marble would never lie to me.
They tricked her.
Christmas Eve is when school is at its most wonderful. I eagerly await your Christmas card, Spacey. I remembered precisely what she said to me. It's simply impossible for today to be a holiday.
Maybe it is, but they were planning a party.
I readied myself to open the classroom door, spirits lifted. I opened my mouth to greet everyone with manufactured cheer, but it took no time at all for me to notice there wasn't anyone to greet. There's no one here. It is a holiday after all, isn't it? But I might be here before the rest of class. I suppose all I can do is sit and wait for everyone to arrive. I took my seat. I waited. Flecks of snow continued to fall on the other side of the window, settling along the sill. It created a wistful notion of the time spent at this desk, listening to lessons, engaging with my fellow schoolmates, discovering the world beyond my mansion. It was all fun. I regretted not a single instance of my time spent in Harrington Academy, except for being here on fucking Christmas.
Come on, don't push me. Keep your voice down.
I turned upon hearing several voices behind me.
Merry Christmas! In that instance, the room was packed with multicolored confetti and the pop of party crackers. She has a heart attack and dies because she's petrified of party crackers. Huh? What just happened? Oh, look, I love it! Our whole harem is here! All of my friends were here with Christmas crackers in hand. Look at fucking Akechi, he's adorable.
Hi there. Did we surprise you, Spacey?
We happen to be the only ones at school today.
I can't believe you're really here. You are a special sort of woman.
Wait, what is all this? You can't mean... Oh, we're sorry, but it was Miss Marple's idea to surprise you. It's actually not a school day.
On me word, you do have a habit of putting in the effort when it's nonsense like this. I might want to consider a proper hobby.
How dare you imply such a thing? My word, you ought to learn to quell that lip when a good deed is done.
Buddy's right. We're all in school on a day off because we wanted to celebrate with her.
You mustn't be angry with me, Spacey. It was all in good fun to surprise you, and we still aren't done. Hudson will soon be here with all kinds of food for us to enjoy. I can't wait for the face you'll make when you see them.
Oh, this? For me? Oh, thank you all so much! Just for me! Nobody else has family to celebrate Christmas with. Just me. I mean, I'm okay with it. They're my harem right here. But this could have started as a sympathetic act for a girl with no family. Yet I smiled, for each of their cheeks were flushed with pleasure from having done this. Indeed, there was no greater gift. The hymn of carolers could be heard to the melody of church bells. The snow continued to fall in heavier clumps, turning the buildings and streets into a stunning, perfect white. This was a true day of joy. Christmases had come and gone, some delightful, others quite sad. And now that I had this one, the loneliness was behind me. After all, it was my very first Christmas in London. Christmas memories. The Eve of London's New Age has been opened in the extras section. Oh, that's what that other story is. Ah! Okay, I knew this was going to happen. This part is literally 5 fucking minutes. Like, all right, so. Oh, wait. Interesting. Oh, this is just a different end. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna edit the 2 parts together, so I'll cut off my intro. Oh, it's Mycroft Jr. That explains a lot. Yeah, I mean, that to me, saying that, you know, kind of hints there could be another one. Well, yeah, because they never tell you who that is, but it's Mycroft Jr. So it's literally, they said Mycroft Holmes, but it's not like Sherlock Holmes' brother. It's his nephew, so it would be Holmes' cousin. That makes more sense, but still, they don't tell you that it's him, so you'd be like, I don't understand, he was never in this. Well, I mean, maybe in the little extra thing, I don't know. We'll do that in its own part, because that's probably going to take like at least 45 minutes to maybe an hour, but I can't skip the ending, so. Enjoy looking at all the CGs. It's going to be a little bit longer of a part. I don't know how long this is. And we didn't get all of the CGs though. I'm sure that one was the Holmes one. I think we've gotten all, but there's stuff at the end like for the little prize things that you get, you know. And I think it's probably because you're supposed to read a book, and we probably didn't do that in all the different choices because we always wrote in our diary, or you know, I don't think we always. Well, to get the Baker Street Boys ending, we just went to sleep, which doesn't do anything. But the other ones, I think you're supposed to read a book and then you get like a little, you know, that little, not a big deal. We got the actual CGs, just not like the little object CG things. You'll see when we go through the things what I'm talking about. Let's enjoy the localization people right now because this was a phenomenal job. A couple times you let Tim type, and that was just a bad idea, but, you know, I get it. But, like, just overall, like, impressed. Like, and again, I'm not sure if I'm impressed with the writing in general, or, like, or the translation, or both. So I'm gonna give credit to both, because, shit. Like, this is some colorful language. And I don't mean that in, like, the lots of swearing colorful. I mean, like, the, wow. It's pretty poetic in parts. It had pretty poetic parts. Oh, she's still going, huh? I just keep waiting for something else to happen. The secret after scene. Good lord! This is the longest ending ever. effort into this. It is funny though. I'm curious. Well, it's funny because like Mycroft Holmes was really only in this, right? But yet he's got a voice toggle that you can turn him on and off. So does Edward Moriarty, even though I'm pretty sure he never fucking even showed up in this game. But some of the other characters were just other, you know, like Ryan and like Lestrade and everything. So it's weird. So let's go. Let's just double check. I'm pretty sure we got our last home CG. Yes, we did. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Don't you look at that. I mean, you can. There we go. That was our last home CG. Okay, I feel better. I was like, how did I miss this? But there you go. That was our last home CG. We'd already gotten all the Watson ones. But these things are the things I'm talking about. Like these down here. Which I assumed were all of this stuff. But maybe they're in the other ending thing because I forgot that we even had that. And they're after the finish thing. So, those were originally ones we had. I think it was, yeah, it's just these two. So, it's this one, and then this one, our Christmas one. Oh, I love that. It's so cute. I was like totally thinking, I'm like, that's the perfect one to end this on. We're totally going to use that. And then we got the game completion one, even though it's technically not the game completion one. But like, I feel like though we should use this one for when we actually like I think we're going to use that when we actually complete the game because it's everybody in it, and who knows what the other CGs are going to be. So we're going to end on this one, and then we'll do the game completion one when we finish the game. So the next part we'll do the epilogue. Hopefully it's only I don't know. Hopefully it's only one part. It's really just because I'm trying to finish this game before I continue other things, and I'm like, I'm gonna forget other shit I started recording. But yeah. So those are usually only like a part, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.